Of course, the Constitution of the United States, prior to the ratification of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery and involuntary servitude except for crime, any place the flag flies, was a matter of state law. So each state determined for itself whether or not it would be lawful for one human being to own another human being. At the time of the American Revolution, it's fair to say, well, let's go back a little ways, say 1760. All of the colonies, which would become independent states with the Declaration of Independence, or at least the Treaty of Paris, in which England acknowledged American independence, were sanctioned slavery in one way or another. The usual way was to have a slave code, which basically did three things. It vested the owner of the slave with control over the labor and of the time and of the obedience of the individuals they claimed as slaves. And the slave codes provided mechanisms for them, for slaveholders, to ensure that their right to that labor and their right to that time and their right to that obedience was in fact fulfilled. By the time Illinois admitted the Union in 1818, that's no longer true. We frankly don't know how slavery was abolished in New Hampshire. Lawyers would say it happened by desuetude. That is, nobody claimed anybody as slaves, and the institution just died out. The usual way in which slavery was abolished in the North was pioneered, so the template was pioneered by Pennsylvania in 1780. Pennsylvania in 1780 enacted a statute which provided that everybody who's a slave today in Pennsylvania is a slave until the day they die. But everybody born after July the 4th, 1780, will become free upon reaching age 25 if a female and age 28 if a male. And the theory of those ages is that the slaveholder would be responsible for feeding and clothing them at a time when they were unproductive, but they should be compensated for that. And so the slaves wouldn't be free in Pennsylvania until they reached 28 for the fellows and 25 for the females. Now, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey all abolished slavery in this way. But one implication is that slavery could last a great deal, many more years after it had been abolished with these graduated emancipation laws. So New Jersey still has slaves in the census of 1850. So we think of New Jersey as one of the free states, but actually it was a slave state committed to being a free state as late as 1850.